Sorghum is a cereal crop grown for food and animal feed. It lies in the kingdom Plantae and genus Sorghum. Sorghum is a drought-resistant crop and does well in areas of low rainfall. In Kenya, sorghum is grown in the dry districts and it finds ready market in those localities that it is grown. Farmers are being sensitized to grow the new improved variety of the Gadam sorghum because of its high yields and the fact that it does better than the red sorghum.
Mama, mimi naitwa Samuel Mwangi wa Mbogo. Natoka Nairobi katika idara ya utafiti wa viwanda tunaita Kenya Industrial Research and Development Institute. Na huwa tunafanya utafiti wa value addition to sorghums and all the other crops that are grown in Kenya. So we are here kuuliza maswali kidogo hapa na pale ndio tujue ukulima wako wa mtama unaendelea namna gani na shida ambazo uko nazo. Umekuwa ukikuza mtama kwa muda gani?
Nimekuza kama miaka miwili. Hapo mbeleni tulikuwa tunapanda ile ingine, ile nyekundu. Lakini hiyo haikuwa mbaya sana kwa sababu ndege hawakuli. Na last season ndio tulipatiwa hii Gadam. Tukaambiwa itakuwa na faida kwetu kwa sababu watu wa breweries watakuja kununua. Tukapewa mbegu tukapanda, lakini ndege walikula sana. Sikuvuna kiasi kile nilikuwa natarajia.
Kuna msaada wowote ambao huwa mnapata kutoka kwa idara za serikali ambazo ziko hapa location yenu ama division ama district?
Kuna wakati walitupatia fertilizer na mahindi. Mbegu ya mahindi pia ya kupanda na maharagwe. Wakati tulipatiwa hiyo maharagwe na mahindi, hakukunyesha vizuri, kwa hivyo hatukuvuna vizuri.
Kwa nini unachanganya hii mimea yote katika sehemu moja?
Hii ninachanganya kwa sababu shamba ni kidogo.
Shamba ni kidogo.
Na ikiwa nitapanda hii Gadam peke yake, nipande mahindi peke yake, sitavuna kitu kizuri.
Sorghum in this locality is intercropped with several other crops like cassava, which is however affected by cassava mosaic, which is common in indigenous variety and if not tackled, will spread to other neighboring improved variety and wipe off the crop producing yields.
This is cassava mosaic. It's very, very prevalent in certain localities in Kenya and it can wipe the whole crop. Now the problem is that, as he said, it is going to affect the neighboring plants.
Sinaona kama hili.
Sinaona kama hii sasa. Sasa hii haikuwa nayo lakini sasa inaona tayari imeanza kuambukizwa. And when this one happens, the yield will dramatically fall and the plant will just wilt and dry. So what we are saying is they need assistance in this area. Do you mix this one when you with the sorghum?
Yeah.
Mnatumia pamoja na mtama?
Ndio.
Ni chakula kitamu.
Changanya ni chakula kitamu.
Ya uji ama ya ugali?
Ya ugali.
Ya ugali. Okay. So they still need the cassava because they mix it with.
Hata pia hii cassava unachanganya pia unapika uji.
Hii peke pamoja na mtama.
Unachanganya na mtama na wimbi. Unapika uji.
Sorghum has various uses. It is mixed with cassava, maize, or millet to make flour that is very nutritious and prepares porridge, chapati, and pilau.
Kazi yangu ni kufunza sana groups juu ya utilization. Vile wanaweza tumia vitu kama hii mtama, cassava, muhogo, kutumia hata vile wanaweza kuchanganya hiyo mtama, wanaongeza kwa soya, inakuwa more nutritious. Kwa hivyo tuko na variety ya recipes zile tunasaidia wakulima nazo, tunawafundisha aina tofauti ya chakula ndio waweze kufaidika. Pia hii Gadam tunaonyesha jinsi ya kuchanganya na unga wa ngano, wanaweza tengeneza chapati. Pia hata kuna machines za kutoa hii matawi, hii maganda ya juu, kudihal, ndio waweze kutengeneza pilau. Badala ya kununua mchele kwa soko, watumie Gadam kwa kutengeneza pilau. Wakulima wengi tumeona wakifurahia.
Ingawaje huu mtama unakuliwa na ndege, tumeangalia utamu wake, uzuri wake, recipes zile ameongea juu yake. na kuna zingine pia tumetengeneza Nairobi. So nitampatia hii aende asome, akiona ni mzuri atakuja muongee na yeye. Hata kuna soup iko hapa, soup inatokana na mtama, chakula cha watoto na tumechanganya na vyakula vingine, na ukila utaridhika kwa afya na pia kwa shibe.
Hakuna dawa inaweza kukusa hizo ndege?
Sasa hayo mimi sijui, labda kutoka kwa Ministry ya Agriculture ama watu ya
kwa ministry wakati ule kama la season saa ile zilikuwa nyingi, huwa kuna ndege inakuja inaweza kuspray.
In Moka District, Kasikeo Sublocation, Kenya Industrial Research and Development Institute, KIRDI, has installed 2 pilot programs to help farmer process and sell their sorghum.
Habari yako?
Salama sana.
Habari ya kazi?
Pana mbona tunasukuma bado.
Unanikumbuka?
Nakukumbuka bwana Mbogo sana.
Asante sana.
Nakukumbuka sana.
Naam, nimetoka Nairobi.
Okay.
Na nimeambiwa niwasalamie nikifika.
Alright.
Yes, habari ya mzee na mami?
Mzee, mama wote wazima.
Wazima.
Hawana neno.
Tumeshukuru.
Karibu.
Asante sana.
Naam.
Sasa tumekuja hapa kuangalia kama yule mtambo tuliweka hapa karibu miaka 10 iliyopita.
Naam.
Mnaendeleaje?
Tuko bado tunaendelea. Mitambo ndo hii. Unaviona bado kazi inaendelea. Mitambo inafanya kazi kwa vizuri.
Very good.
Yeah, the engines are perfect.
No problem with the maintenance and repair?
No problem with the maintenance, spare wise, repair wise, everything is okay.
Okay. What kind of products are you now processing here?
As usual, since time and memory, since we started this project, kawaida ni kama mahindi, siaga. Tuko na vitu kama unaona cassava. Hii pia ni ya kuuza ambao unauzia kina mama.
Yes.
Wanachanganisha na mahindi. Iko kitu kingine kama
mtama, sorghum.
Sorghum will be more used if processing were improved and insufficient good quality flour were made available to meet demand. Women and men have come together to form groups that buy sorghum in bulk from farmers to process and make products for sale to the local market and schools.
Nimepewa yangu, nipe mfuko. Lete mfuko.
Lete nikuwekee.
Haya basi.
Haya.
Basi, change yangu, change. Thank you.
However, they face various challenges.
Mtama ni mzuri, lakini shida ni ndege tu. Lakini ile nyingine tukipanda ndio tunachanganya sana na wimbi. Inaenda ile sijui unaita seredo, sijui unaitwa. Hiyo ndio unatusaidia hiyo isikuli. So tuna harvest hiyo.
Who are your main customers? Ni mashule ya kina mama, wapita njia, you customers, you kikundi
Kwa
shops.
Yeah. Na mashule.
Schools.
Yeah.
Schools mnauza na pakiti ama na magunia?
Pakiti.
Unapeleka
Pakiti.
mingi pakiti.
O paketi mingi.
Yeah.
Ndio umepaka.
Schools secondary schools
Yeah.
Hizi zile za boarding Wash it, dry it, paka mafuta na brush. Mafuta ya liquid kama Lianto. Mafuta which is edible. Na ukishamaliza hiyo, then you need to ensure that the belts are always properly tight. Easy. Unaona hizi?
Yeah.
Na hii. Haya, number 2, naona mnatumia single face. Unaona hii? This is single face. I can tell you for sure, it won't last long.
Okay.
Sitawaombea mabaya hata ikikaa miaka 10 kusema Mungu saidia sasa, lakini what I'm saying is this one single phase ndio niliweka ya kwanza ikachomeka. Number 2, single phase uses a lot of power. Stima. Ukiweka 3 phase inatumia iko na nguvu mingi. 3 phase. Na ikichomeka ni rahisi kubadilisha. Sababu unapeleka for rewinding impedance. Ikichomeka rewinding ni pesa. No, inafanywa rewinding but very expensive.
They purchase printed papers and fold them with the help of a rectangular block of wood before adding glue to seal it. This is, however, not hygienic.
Kwa sana kwa sababu hapa hakuna private room ya kupaki. Hii mfuko kama inaweza letwa ikiwa ikiwa namna hii, ndio tuwe tukifungua tuna kuweka unga na kupima na kuweka. Tungefurahi sana.
They mix flour manually with maize or cassava, scale it to the desired weight, put it into pans before taking it in the oven to cook. After removing from the oven, the bread is left to cool and then packed and sold to consumers.
Tunafurahia sana kula kwa vile ni nzuri kwa miili yetu. Inatengenezwa hapa kwa hii bakery locally. Na ni wakulima wetu wa hapa Kasio wanatengeneza.
This is how our sorghum comes, our red sorghum comes. It's usually a mixture of small stones, debris, as you can see, we have debris, mixture of small stones, and you can see a lot of chaff here. And for us to have some quality red sorghum, it has to go through this process, this vibro process. It's called a vibro separator. What is happening here is that we are removing the debris from the sorghum, whereby here we have the stones coming out from this place, and the debris, as you can see, debris of the sorghum, and the stones are removed from here. And here we are getting the good grain quality from this stone. So the vibro separator is able to detone and is also able to remove the debris from the sorghum so that we can get a clean sorghum for the final product. Our composite floods are made from this. Once we are through with the cleaning of the sorghum, this is what is left. We have some small stones here, we have dust, and the debris from the red sorghum. So this one comes out of these shoots. And on the other end here, this is our clean red sorghum that is now destoned, that doesn't have any debris, and it is ready for the final processing of our flours. This is a dehuling unit, which is used to polish sorghum. And this one, we're specifically polishing sorghum for the swamp tama. We remove the outer coating of the white sorghum to polish it and make it clean. So that we can have a clean super mtama that is polished. This is our clean red sorghum here, and it is ready now for milling. We have hammer mill here. This is one way of milling our red sorghum to have flour or even composite flour. This is one of the equipments that is used to mill the red sorghum. Is called a hammer mill. And this is the entry point of the hammer mill, whereby you drop the grains here and they are milled to the desired consistency using a hammer mill. We also have another type of equipment that actually does very fine milling on this end, which we are going to see here. This pin mill is called a Brewmaster, which is used for very fine milling for baking purposes. This is our mixer. What happens is, after our cleaned sorghum, we normally bring it here for mixing. If you have to mix several types of grains, you can mix them using this mixer. But in this process, what we're actually doing is now mixing sorghum with a little bit of water in preparation for pre-cooking. Pre-cooking means cooking through friction, and it requires a bit of water. So what is happening here is mixing some percentage of water with the sorghum for us to be able to pre-cook or extrude. And we're actually using the cleaned sorghum. After mixing it here for 10 minutes, we normally discharge it here at the bottom,
This is the bottom discharge ready for pre-cooking. Red sorghum from our ribbon mixer that has been mixed with some percentage of water for us to be able to extrude. Extrusion means cooking through friction. The entry point of our sorghum that is mixed with water, the entry point is there. It comes inside a chamber here, a cooking chamber, that has some screws and some rings inside. It is pushed through friction. By the time it is at the discharge level, it is at a temperature of 110 to 120 degrees centigrade. This is called pre-cooking or extrusion. And we normally achieve 2 or 3 things by so doing. We reduce the microbial load. We eliminate any larvae infestation that is there by killing it. We also increase the palatability of our red sorghum, and the shelf life is also increased from around 4 months to around 8 months because of the reduction in the microbial load. We also attain one other purpose. The palatability is extremely good once you have a pre-cooked red sorghum. At the end of it all, when someone is cooking pre-cooked grains, we normally achieve short cooking time, around 5 minutes, which actually is very good for energy saving. And this one, we are able to achieve a product that saves energy, a product that is good in quality, a product that is palatable, and a product that is acceptable by the whole family. And this is a technology that has been adopted here in KIRDI. Initially, this was just as a normal screw mixer that has been adopted for us to be able to achieve the temperatures. It has been pre-modified, as you can see from the discharge level. We have pre-modified it to be able to achieve high cooking temperature. So this is a modified extruder or pre-cooking equipment that has been done here in KIRDI, and we are able to actually achieve it using this simple technology as for the pre-cooking activity. What we have here is a milling equipment. This is called a disc milling equipment, which does the final milling of our pre-cooked grains, namely the sorghum from the extruder, or the maize, or the amaranth, or the pearl millet. After extrusion or pre-cooking, we normally bring them here to a disc mill for our final milling. Within the disc mill, there's a sieve that predetermines the particle size of the mill. So you can change the mill to specifically mill to particular particle size. And we have a bottom discharge there, and our collection bag is usually there, whereby our feeding process is to feed from this end. Our flakes are these ones. We normally feed from this end, and they'll be discharged here at the bottom when they are fine milled to the desired consistency. This is our final product. After finishing all the processes of pre-cooking, fine milling, and mixing the flours to the desired consistency, we normally come here for our final packaging. As you can see here, this is one of the products that has been done, the sperm tama. And as you can see, our brand name is All Grain. This is a company name that is doing these products. This is one of the products, the sperm tama. We have another product here, which is the composite flour, basically composed of the sorghum, amaranth, and the pearl millet. One of the products. We also have the same product that has been added lactic acid for it to have a fermented taste. Another sorghum product here, as it is, just basically going on the same line, sorghum product. And we have our now very popular product here called the brown ugali flour, which is basically whole maize and whole red sorghum, all of it having gone through the process of pre-cooking again. And the benefit, particularly on this brown ugali, is because of its wholesomeness. The wholesomeness means that we are not removing anything from the maize or anything from the sorghum. It is actually pre-cooked as whole grains, so all the benefits of the whole grains are actually captured in this brown ugali. As you can see from this nutritional analysis, we have a very high fiber content because of the wholesomeness. We have a good protein balance, which is 10.5 grams, and good energy values, and a great story here of cooking it within 5 minutes. The taste is also very delicious here because of the pre-cooking. It tastes almost baked, although with the wholesomeness also, it gives the characteristics of some stickiness because of the wholesomeness. As characterized from the cooking of, even if you cook the whole maize, you still get the same stickiness. So these are the benefits of actually pre-cooking, whereby you can utilize the whole grains to capture the nutrients of the whole grains and have a finished product as it is.
At KIRDI Food Pilot Plant, baking composite sorghum bread is achieved by mixing 10% sorghum and 90% wheat.
We are at KIRDI Food Pilot Plant, baking unit, and we are lucky we have the person in charge, Mr. Barongo. He will tell us exactly what they do in this place.
Okay, what we are currently doing, we are baking composite sorghum bread. We've undertaken research and realized that 10% sorghum mixed with wheat flour produces bread which can rise and form volumes like the ordinary normal bread. The step we are in now, we are in the mixing stage. So we have put the other ingredients. What we are using 10% sorghum, 90% wheat flour, and then the other ingredients we are using cooking fat, we are using sugar, we are using salt, and to strengthen the bread we are also using the bread improver to improve the strength of the dough, because sorghum is a weak dough and it does not contain gluten, which is in wheat. So to strengthen the dough so that it can be able to take up the other processes after this, like kneading and all this, we have put the bread improver. From this stage, we take our already completed mixed dough, we take it for scaling. Scaling, basically, if it's bread, we are scaling it to the final weight we want. So because we are making 400 grams bread, the final weight, we are going to scale to weights of 460 grams. Research has shown that if you divide 460 grams after the baking process and the drying and the packing, the total net weight of the bread will be 400 grams. And basically this is the stage. So after dividing, we are going to do molding. After molding, we do panning. Panning means you put it into the bread tins. After we've divided our dough, we knead it so that we distribute the air cells before we take it to the prover. So this is just a simple kneading operation. We are just distributing the air cells. After knocking the dough with that machine, we put the dough into the pans. That is the panning process before we take it to the prover. So before you pan, for easy removal of the bread after it has been baked, we do what we call greasing. You just take some oil, we liquefy it with heat, and then use a brush to oil the tin. So after you have oiled the tin, you'll just mold the dough and put it with the folded side facing downwards before taking it to the prover. So this is the proving stage. After we've put our bread into our dough into pans, we take it to the prover. We are using yeast. The yeast acts best at temperatures of between 40 and 50. So in the prover, there is controlled temperature and relative humidity. Those are the parameters we want to use to ensure that the bread rises to the required levels. So basically, we put it into the prover so that it can, the prover has controlled relative humidity and temperature, which is optimum for yeast activity so that the bread can rise to the required volume. After the dough has risen to the required volume, normally it reaches the same level as the tin. We take it to the preheated oven. So in the preheated oven, we put our ready dough, the one which has been brewed, and then we bake it at 220 degrees centigrade for 25 minutes. So after 25 minutes, the brown crust and the good appearance of the bread will have been formed. You stop the oven and remove the bread. You take it to a cooling rack for cooling. We normally cool it for 2 hours before we take it for slicing and packing.
Sensory analysis is a scientific discipline that applies principles of experimental design and statistical analysis to the use of human senses, which are sight, smell, taste, touch, and hearing. For the purpose of evaluating consumer products, It requires the panel of human assessors on whom the products are tested and recording the responses made. After manufacturing the sorghum-based products, sensory evaluation is conducted to certify that consumers will like it.
It's an exercise that is very, very important if products have to be delivered to the customer in the market. So for that, I say thank you very much for your time and the effort and the dedication to our project and this work in particular. Second, I would like to thank the Food Science Division in KIRDI, my brother here, Mr. Barongo, for agreeing to participate in the baking of the bread and the preparation of this session of sensory evaluation, and also to my other colleague in the project, Mr. Wanyeki of All Grain Limited, because he's our partner in technology for value addition to these products. So with those few remarks, I would wish you all the best, and when we call you again to participate in any other project-related work, I hope you'll also be able to come.
The product has gone the proper quality control measures and for consistency of the product.
It is good for lactating mothers, and it is a pure blended whole grain. Yeah, and it is a product of whole grain.
Chapati. Hii ndio chakula inaongeza afya.